Hi guys and welcome back to my channel. So today, as you can see from the title, I'm going to be ranking all 6 Final Destination films. So I finished watching these about a week or two ago. I just haven't had time to film this video. Just a few ones. There might be some gory clips. I'll try and hopefully block them out if it's a bit too gory. And obviously there's going to be spoilers for the films. So if you haven't watched any Final Destination and want to watch them, click off this video. Anyway, without further ado, let's rank the Final Destination films. So I'm going to go from 6 to 1, and obviously this is my opinion. If you've got any other different opinions, leave them down below. And also I'm going to link my Letterboxd down below and you can see what films I'm watching, because this list is actually on my Letterboxd. So anyway, at number 6 we've got The Final Destination, or Final Destination 4, whatever you want to call it. So obviously it's at number 6. I didn't really like this. I don't like that he was having premonitions every 5 seconds. Like, what was up with that? I knew what was going to happen before it was going to happen. Obviously, I think it's the second film. It wasn't so bad in the second one because she wasn't having premonitions every 5 seconds, and it wasn't for everything. But I'll get back to the second film when we get to it. The only thing I liked was the intro and the outro with the Skellingtons, but other than that, the actual film, I just did not like it. As I said in my review, it really was not the best in the series. And I felt like the acting faltered as well. I just wasn't really engaged like I was with the other ones. That is at number 6. At number 5, this is probably going to be a controversial one. I've got Final Destination 3. I've got this at number 5 because, like the Final Destination or Final Destination 4, I feel like the acting kind of faltered. It just felt like it was very forced. Felt like they were acting, you could tell they were acting. I did like those emo characters, yeah, love that. I was so sad about their death. So I feel like there was more likable characters in this one rather than Final Destination 4. I felt like the deaths were the main thing rather than the whole story as a whole, because obviously in some of the others it's more about the story surrounding the deaths rather than the deaths. Obviously that's the whole point, but I felt like there was more concentration on the deaths, which some of the films, that it's not the whole thing. There's also a heartfelt story, and as I said in my review, I felt like the story in between kind of faltered because there was so much significance on the deaths, especially because the sunbed one is literally one of the most iconic ones in the franchise. So yeah, that's why Final Destination 3 is at 5. I also think the next one's going to be controversial, but so at number 4 I've got the first Final Destination. Maybe it's because it was 2000 and obviously it's the first film. It was probably classed as an indie film, so they're just trying to test the waters. I get that, but when you compare them to the rest, I feel like it was a mid film. It was a great film. I probably would watch it again. I probably would watch all these films again. And I felt like the deaths were more realistic, which now they would probably put a trigger warning on it. I guess that kind of made it a bit more real. That's why it is above 3 and 4. But I felt like the 3 in front of it were just better. They felt more like a Final Destination film. Not that they went too far, I just think they made it too realistic, if that makes sense. But I also feel like the plane is quite iconic as well in that one. Number 3 is Final Destination Bloodlines.
There are only 2 ways: by killing or by dying. If you take a life, you get the time that person had left.
What? No, I'm not gonna kill someone.
Maybe we should let the guy finish.
Then to truly break the cycle, you have to die.
I forgot to say what stars I've given these. Jeez, right. Final Destination 4, 1.5 stars. Final Destination 3, 2.5. The Final Destination, the first one, 3 stars. Bloodlines has got 3.5. I know you're probably thinking, why the half stars, but Bloodlines is at number 3. Obviously, this was the first one I ever watched. Obviously, I watched the first one after Bloodlines, so I thought there's a lot of better graphics in this than the first one. There was a lot more likeable characters. Emo again, like, come on. Eric, love him. I did like the main character in it. I can't remember her name. I liked Eric. I liked the main character's brother as well. And I also liked Julie, I think her name is. Julie, something like that. Loved her. I hate that she got crushed in that recycling van, but yeah. Oh, and I also liked Iris as well. Love her. I did say in my review I thought that some of the deaths were kind of silly, but I think that is the whole point. They're just so silly that they would like probably never happen. Like, would you get sucked into an MRI machine? Probably not. Would you get crushed in a recycling van? Probably not. Would you get run over by a lawnmower? Probably not. The rest you probably could happen, to be honest. So yeah, when they're more unrealistic, I feel like they're a bit more funny. And also, that Penny, but also, it was all that kid's fault. Like, come on now. I say the Penny, but it was really the kid one there, let's be honest. At number 2, which I give 4 stars, is Final Destination 5.
Molly, come on!
I don't know why I really like this one. The only thing I did skip was the laser eye surgery. Like, am I gonna watch that? No. While I was skipping it, I seen that an eyeball fell out and I was like, whoa. And then the guy after, the police guy, was like to the guy, how did this happen? Because this machine does a malfunction basically. And I was like, okay, I could have watched it then. Also, my mace dropped at the end when it's linked to the first film. No one told me this, by the way. Wasn't expecting that. And I think that's why it's above, because it had that twist. Also, Pete, whatever you want to call him, going crazy at the end with a knife, I'm going to kill you. I was like, whoa. Wasn't expecting that either. I love a good twist. Anyway, at number 1, you've probably guessed it. It is Final Destination 2.
Ah! Son of a bitch.
Honestly, I love this film. Like, as I said, it wasn't predictable. Like, that woman who was having a baby didn't die. I'm sorry. And also, it's got one of the most iconic opening scenes with the logs. But then I found out on TikTok that's not actually realistic because they don't strap the logs on like they strap them on that film. That is iconic. I did give it 4 stars. Oh my god, I also wasn't expecting all her friends to die at the beginning, and then you had the next one, you had the one with the pigeons.
I forgot to mention the guy with the ladder because I forgot about that guy, but honestly, he deserved it. He won the lottery and all he bought with it was like a gold watch on it and all these expensive things. He kind of deserved it. And then obviously the ladder like fell halfway. I thought he was going to get out of it and then it went on his eye. I forgot about that one. All the deaths in this film were just so iconic, let's be honest.
Was his name Sam, Tim, whatever his name was, and he got flattened. I was like, honestly, and then the elevator, the guy with the gun, honestly, this film was full of twists. It was just crazy. And then she goes in an ambulance, drains, comes back to life. It was just like constant like action. I was so engrossed. They brought back Cleo as well. Tony Todd was in it, RIP. he wasn't in 3 and 4, if I remember rightly, so he obviously makes the film for me, don't he? Honestly, it was just so good. Like, I love 2, and as I said, the log scene is so iconic. And the fact that 2 of them stayed alive, like, that never happened. They all die eventually. Obviously, everyone thinks in 3 that girl didn't die, but I think she did. The fact that Clea died as well, I was like, oh my god, that's so sad. You make it through 2 films and then you die at the end of 2. Come on, you could have kept her alive. As I said earlier, if you don't agree with me, you can put your favourite one down below. Which one was your favourite Final Destination? And also, as I said, I'm going to link my letterbox down below. I will link my other videos down below. While I'm filming this, I'm actually currently filming a weekly vlog, which I'm hoping to go up tomorrow or Tuesday. I'm hoping this goes up today. But yeah, I think that's all I have to say. I guess I'll see you guys in the next video.